Hey everybody, welcome to the Live the Movie Team weekly Google Hangout team meeting. And tonight I'm excited to share with you guys what our team's really about, where we're going, and what we're actually going to do to get there. So it's very exciting. And if you're here because myself or Mallory, who's with me, or any of the other leaders on our team, you either follow them on Facebook or Instagram or on their email list, and you want to hear more about how we are able to develop ourselves and create freedom in our lives, and specifically what our team's all about and how you can get involved. So I'm going to get to all that in 1 second. Just wanted to say hi to Mallory, who's joining me here on the call as well.
Hey.
How's it going?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. I'm excited to share what our team's about and where we're going. I know I was just talking to you off the video that you've been kind of like a buzzsaw all afternoon getting all this stuff done, because we as a team decided on one main focus, and everybody's been really fired up since then.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. I just think having just such a laser focus on something makes all the difference. So it's great.
Cool. So our team, as you might have seen here, is called the Live the Movie Team. And where that really all comes about is, a bunch of years back, 7 or 8 years ago, I was kind of a little lost in my life. I was a college student. I was attending a really good school, Bentley University, one of the top 20 business schools in the country. I had, like I said, decent grades, good friends, good family, had more money than the average college student. But I really hadn't understood personal development, how to develop yourself, how to look at yourself, how to look at life in general. And I think a lot of high school and college students get confused by a lot of that stuff. And it kind of came to a point where I had to make a decision. And without going into all the details of the story, on December 31st, 2007 into 2008, I had this breaking point where I said, I got to figure out what life is truly about and make a change. And over the last 7 or 8 years, so many things have changed in my life, but they're actually changes on the inside that have produced results on the outside, not the other way around. And the reason we're called the Live the Movie Team is, as I started to develop myself and meet new friends and become a part of the first sales company that I got a chance to work for, and that's actually where I met Mallory as well. And I started learning about personal development, and one of the first concepts that I learned was to look at obstacles as opportunities. And it's a really cool way of looking at things, and that's obviously not how most of society looks at obstacles. But when I first heard that, at the time, I was kind of a little negative. And because of that, when I heard that, I said, yeah, that's great, but I'd rather just not go through challenges. If they could be avoided, that would be awesome. So it really didn't stick with me until I came up with that idea of Live the Movie. And what Live the Movie is all about is, if you think of yourself like the main character in the movie that is your life, and people are actually sitting in a movie theater watching your movie. And if you think about any good story-based movie, there's a protagonist, and usually the protagonist has a goal that they want to achieve, and they believe if they achieve the goal, then they'll be happy or fulfilled or whatever it is. And that's backwards, just like most of us have it backwards. People in movies have it backwards, right? So what ends up happening is the main character actually makes progress towards this particular goal, and in a lot of movies they end up seeming like they got it, right? The guy's dating the girl's dating the guy, the sports team's in first place, the hero's beating the villain, right? It seems like they're gonna achieve that goal and get what they want, and then right after they get knocked down, and they get knocked down in a way that it seems like they can't win, right? The villain traps the hero, the sports team is like way down in the game, to win in the playoffs. The girlfriend finds out the boyfriend did something crazy and they break up, and you think that it's over, right? You think that it's over, but any good story-based movie, that team, that hero, that character realizes what they wanted was not just to achieve the goal, is they needed to become the person, the team, the hero that could actually be able to achieve the goal. And it's only in that moment of struggle, when they break through, that they're not only able to achieve the goal at the end of the movie, but they also become the person they needed to become to achieve that goal and be fulfilled as well. And that's where we came up with the slogan of Live the Movie, because it gives a different ring to the whole concept of looking at obstacles as opportunities. And like I said before, it was a cool concept when I first learned it, but it just didn't ring true with me at the time, and I needed some other frame of reference to actually think about it. So when I'm challenged and I really don't feel like doing something, I think about what if someone was literally sitting, like I was on a TV show or in a movie, and someone was literally sitting saying, no, you've been such an inspiration and now you got knocked down, you got to show me the way to get back up and make things happen. So that's where that whole concept has come about. And because of that, I've been so huge into personal development, learned a lot from the sales and marketing company I worked for, and from there started my own coaching business. And what ended up happening was I've wrote a book and obviously done some coaching, and that's been fantastic. And we have our academy, which I'll talk about briefly in a second. But one of the interesting things is a main part of personal development is also the concept of taking control of your life in two particular areas, one being your time and another being your money. And specifically what I'm talking about is, and I talked about this last week on our call, is that a bunch of years ago I was a part of Tony Robbins' Platinum Partnership Group, which is an exclusive 100-person group of people that want to live life to the fullest. They want to develop themselves, they want to make relationships, they want to make partnerships, they want to spend time with Tony Robbins, who's obviously the personal development guru. But what was interesting was when I was at one of his events, he actually said, raise your hand if you're an entrepreneur or a business owner or someone who controls their own income. And every single person rose their hand, right? So the point of that is that personal development, anyone can do personal development, no matter who you are, what situation you're in, and it's great. It helps with your way of thinking and growing and all that. But the reason all of us here are also a part of an online system that allows us to have a lot of the benefits of a business without running our own business is there are limitations if you don't have complete time and financial freedom to be able to achieve all the things you want to achieve by the goals that you set while developing yourself. Now, I will back up a second and talk about the academy and say, if you don't know the personal development tactics to be able to implement any strategy, whether it's in an online system to create time and financial freedom and to blog about things you're passionate about, or it's anything else in life, you won't do it unless you've developed the mindsets and skills to be able to do that. So our team, just our team, so not part of our online system, but our team here with Mallory and Rob who's on the screen with me and some of our other leaders like Dario and Elizabeth and Anne-Marie and other people that have joined our academy, like my friend Janka from Canada. And they all want to know what are the mindsets and principles so that you can apply any strategy and anything you want to do to succeed. So they joined our academy. We actually launched the academy on the 1st of the month. And next Tuesday, from the time of this being shot, this replay will probably go on. So it's March 9th. So next Tuesday, which is the 15th, I'm actually going to be hosting the first webinar, which is a bonus for being a part of our academy. So anyone who joins by then will be on the first webinar, which is all about questions, how to ask yourself better questions so that you get better answers, so you have a better focus that controls your life. So we do have limited spots to be able to fill to make sure you're there for that webinar and the bonuses that we have. So to actually check that out, and I'm going to say this slowly, and then we're going to really focus on our online system and our mission and our team and get Mallory and Rob and the other people involved in our discussion tonight, is if you go to The Crew, so THECREW.Eric Sachetta, so that's my name, ERICSACHETTA.com. So thecrew.ericsachetta.com. You can check out the academy. You can see if it's for you. We'd love to have you. There's some amazing stuff in there that we're going to be sharing that is not necessarily in our online system, that we wanted to add more value to be able to get people in the right mindset to be able to succeed. So that's what we're focusing on there. Now, as far as our team in general, which includes our academy and also the online system we're a part of, this week we actually came up with our mission for the near future, which is called the 5-month mission. And our team has put together a mission to be really focused between now and when we actually host our own and our second live event, which we're going to do towards the end of July, beginning of August. And we each have specific goals that we're trying to achieve, which also involves bringing other people that are not currently on our team to the mastermind that we're going to host and the event within our online system. So that is the focus that we have, and it's been really cool. I've been having conversations with people like Rob and Mallory that are with me, and Dario and Elizabeth and other people on our team. And it's just been amazing when you have a laser focus on where you're going and what you want to do, the actions just fall into place. You know, um, you know, I forget the actual phrasing, but one of my mentors, whether it was Jack Canfield or Tony Robbins or someone, you know, a lot of people talk about if actions don't have purpose, then it's just, you just can't even do them for an extended period of time. Because a lot of things we do day to day are repetition, and they're not the most exciting things in the world, but there's a purpose behind it and a focus. Now all of a sudden those steps that you take become really exciting. So we have what's called a 5-month mission, and it's all leading towards our next Live the Movie Mastermind and our online system that we're all a part of. We're going to have a combined event and really get people involved in that. So I was just going to have Mallory come up for 1 second and just share you know, what she's excited about with our focus of having a 5-month mission plan that we have, excitement for our event and the event in our online system coming up in the next 5 months, and anything you have to share about people that are intrigued about what we're talking about here.
Yeah, as you were just talking about the 5-month mission, I just thought of and wrote down the phrase, alone I can go fast, but together we can go far. And it just made me think of that, because when we set a goal for ourselves specifically, just individually, sometimes, you know, we make excuses of why we can't reach that goal. An obstacle comes up and we feel that it's impossible to get past the obstacle. And sometimes if we're by ourselves, those issues seem like bigger issues than they really are. But I'm excited to have a mission with the team, because I think it holds me accountable more for the actions that I'm actually going to take to hit the goals. So I'm just fired up to be a part of such a, excuse my language, kick-ass team who just, we're really like-minded. We all want different things in life, but we're like-minded in a sense that we have passion for what we do. And I just think that the goals that we have together just put a focus on that more so than if we just had individual goals on our own.
Cool. And then, you know, obviously you've been to our mastermind that we held last month. Can you share an excitement for a future mastermind? I know you guys wanted to start creating one before we even finished the last one. You know, we're going to go into more stuff about, you know, why our online system works and what are the benefits of it. But, you know, a lot of people, either in their work or if they're a salesperson or whatever, sometimes they don't like going to events and they don't like, you know, doing whatever they have to do. I actually get like so excited to go to events because, you know, it's like a half vacation, half event, but it's also a thing where like I want to see you guys that are on our team, like you know, 90 days, 120 days, whatever it is, you know, between events. Like it's like a reunion almost. It's pretty fun.
Yeah, I love events. I think they're so awesome. Like you said, they're kind of like a mini vacation, but then you get to learn a ton of stuff too and hang out with cool people. I can't wait for the next event. It's funny, when we were out to dinner on the second night of the event, this past one, and you asked, so what do you think we could improve for the next event? And it was kind of a roundtable discussion. And the first thing, I think Dario was the one who said it, was like, well, when's the next one going to be? And it was just cool because it's like, it's not a question of was it good or not, or it's always going to improve the next time we do it. But the fact that it went so well that we already really wanted to do another one, it just speaks, you know, so loudly to the fact that it was awesome, and everybody that has the opportunity to come and are invited to come should come, because you're going to learn a ton and you're going to hang out with some cool people. Cool.
I appreciate all those words. That's great. And I just lost my train of thought, but there was something I was going to add based on what you said. But it was the whole concept of we set a team goal and each individual goals. And because each individual's goals are very similar, you feel like you're held accountable by all the other people. But it's all in junction with what we're talking about, driving towards building a like-minded team towards our next event. And you know what's exciting about that? Like I said, we all have similar goals. But you know, one of my mentors, Brendan Bouchard, says people support what they create. And then back to the I forget the exact quote you just said, Mallory, but the quote that you said is, you know, without each of us, you don't create that whole. And what does that whole look like? That looks like 15 to 20 people at our next event, each of us bringing a few people, mingling with each other, helping us learn how to develop ourselves, helping us learn how to make money, create more time freedom, have a lot of fun in a really cool place, and just spring off of that event to create the goals that we want to create for the rest of the year. And there's so much time left in the rest of the year that if we build towards there and then take July into the rest of the year, you really have no idea where you can be, in the future. And I'm going to give Rob and Dario a chance to share in a second as well. But one of the things is, and I keep forgetting this because we're going to talk a little bit more about our online system, is the -- earner in our online system right now. Him and his wife made like almost 60 grand last month, but it literally still hasn't been. It's only been 3.5 years since they were completely broke, right? They were living in a 350 square foot apartment in Costa Rica. Costa Rica is a cool place. They lived very close to the beach, but their apartment was so tiny, right? And they were literally making, maybe $2,000 or $3,000 a month in this online system that we're all a part of. And they actually met the owner of the company through a mutual friend. They had already signed up, but they actually met the owner of the company, and they went over to his house, and Dave Wood's house, and they went over to Dave's house, and Dave opens the door, and he's reading a book, and he just walks away, and then he's reading another book, and he's listening to audios, and he's like doing all this stuff. And Justin and Dee, who are the #1 earners in the company right now, Justin said, well, what are you doing? Like, aren't you supposed to be prospecting or like doing whatever? He's like, no, dude, I work on stuff or whatever. And while he's doing this, Justin starts getting on the phone, like calling people, trying to get him into his team and all this stuff. And then Dave instead takes a break for a second and pulls up his commission account and shows him how much money he's making, and then shows him his blog and all the stuff he's doing. And it just opened Justin's mind up to the possibility of you still have to work really hard, but it's being able to work when you want and when you don't want, and being able to do something you're passionate about rather than just necessarily making phone calls all day that makes all the difference. From that, the next month, Justin and Dee made $26,000, and the rest is history. They've been on fire ever since. So things can change in a second, regardless of where you guys are on our team are at, and people that haven't even joined yet, you have no idea where you can be by July and no idea where you can be by the end of the year. One last thing I want to share before I'll let everybody else share is, that concept is so important. So the online system we're a part of is all about, having the opportunity, to blog and speak about things that you're passionate about to attract like-minded people that also want to speak about those same things and want to be a part of a team and create time and financial freedom in their lives. That's really ultimately what it's all about. And because of that, you want to be in a situation where you could do that. And for me, I have no problem working hard. I love working hard. That's my favorite thing to do. But being able to work when I want and being able to do what I want outside of that is such a powerful thing. And that's where this system came in. And this is where being a part of something like this makes all the difference. So, I think about that. There's a day this week that I think I woke up at 4 a.m. and started working on stuff. There's another day Meg woke up at 3:30 in the morning. She's working on stuff. And today in the middle of the day, I had a call with Mallory. And besides that, I was outside putting at a putting green because it's like 80 degrees out here, which doesn't even make any sense, right? But you can't do that if you don't have some time freedom to be able to do those things. So, work hard, play hard, and keep improving yourself. So if Rob or Dario want to share anything, their excitement about the online system, excited about where our team's going, I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. I don't think I can hear you.
I think you gotta get out again and come back in. That happened to me.
So Dario, why don't you share for a second?
Yeah, not a problem. So we're talking about financial freedom and stuff like that. We're talking about the freedom that we want, and that's only going to come when money is flowing for us. So I'm excited about the company, the future that we have going, and it's really not about not giving up. It's really being committed to the business. It's really being committed to learning. So that's what I love. I love coming out from my comfort zone. Like videos for me wasn't normal until I got in. So it's just getting used to the change, and learning from everybody in the team, continue to grow. It's just never giving up that's going to make you successful. And then when you hit to be successful, then you gotta fight to keep there and continue to go up. So I love the team. I love the mastermind that we had, and I love everybody. We all continue growing. We learn from each other. So I like that.
Cool. And you were at our last mastermind as well. So can you share a little bit about why people should be excited, not only potentially to join our team, but to be at a situation where sometime in the near future they get to meet all of us and learn from each other and actually do it in a live setting, not just on a computer like this.
Right. I believe that everybody should just not be afraid. Sometimes we feel afraid. Oh, we'll be spending this much money. They think about all these things, but they don't really think about the outcome. What you can get, and the key is for anything is really making relationships with people, getting to know them, and really that's what's really going to turn into a better relationship, and you'll have better connections with everybody. So that's why I think it's the best thing you could do. Regardless if it's on another state, whatever it is, you just gotta take some chances, spend some money, and it's an investment. So it's good.
Yeah, I appreciate you saying that. That's awesome advice. One of the things I talk about a lot of times when I talk to people that join our online system, but also I mentioned it in the welcome video in our academy, is people always ask me, is it worth it, or how fast do I make money, or something, all these different things. It's like you're asking the wrong question. Like if you're going to an event and it costs money and you're saying, is it going to be worth it? Well, it's probably not going to be worth it because you're going to be focused on figuring out why it might not be worth it, instead of saying, I'm going to spend the money, I'm going to invest the time, this is going to be an investment, and an investment I want to get something out of it, so I'm going to say, how can I get something out of this event to make sure it's worth my time and money? And that difference in question changes your focus, and then you'll actually be looking for ways to get something out of whatever you're doing. Anything you do, you can get something out of it. Even if you go to an event and it's horrible, you can notice what not to do. Or maybe there's one person you meet that becomes a friend or a mentor or whatever. It's all a matter of focus and how you actually make the time that you're there for. So Dario, I completely agree with you. That's awesome.
No problem.
Do we have you, Rob?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Good. So the question is, why we're excited about the online system and excited to make money. Is that correct?
Yeah, and also just in general, being a part of a team of like-minded people, and continuing to grow our relationships and develop ourselves, and being able to connect with each other from all over the world, and also be able to meet it in the future.
I mean, the online system's fantastic. I really love it because I'm really building my brand, and building the things that I care about, and turning that into profit and income. I do this part-time, but I put in about maybe an hour or two, maybe a week total, and I'm seeing some great results. I've been doing this for about a year now. I got a ton of followers on Instagram. I got 2,000 people on my email list, and really starting to see some great traction with the system. And I just really like the fact that I'm learning a lot about the internet. If I ever go do anything else, like the educational stuff alone is absolutely worth it. And I'm being surrounded by people that are really thinking on another level, and I think that's key.
Cool. Yeah, it's cool. Different people here have different time to invest in the opportunity, but it's great. You put in a concentrated amount of time, and it works for you 24/7. So sometimes people get confused. They join and they say, well, if stuff's working for me 24/7, does that mean it's 100% automated and I don't have to do anything? It's no, you have to do the work, but when you do the work, it's up to you, and then the back end of it works all the time, meaning you have to do your videos and your blog and your emails, but once someone decides to check out the system is there, and the people that created the system, they have the videos to actually join and what to do once you join, and like and trust factor with people around you that they want to be a part of it and then actually join us and then a lot of the rest of it's taken care of until they actually join, and then they become a part of our, you know, meetings and events and all that stuff. And that's just so cool to know that, you know, when you put in work, it continues to go on beyond the time that you work. I think one of the reasons I struggled you know, spending with other people and things like that. And can you guys still hear me?
You're kind of going in and out a little bit.
Can you guys still hear me?
You just paused for like 10 seconds.
Yeah, I thought that was me first.
You're frozen, Eric. Eric, if you want to jump off and get back on, I can take over for a second. Robin, Dario, and I can handle it.
You got this.
Yeah. Just what Eric was talking about, just a little bit about the online system. What I was thinking of when he was talking about this is what you put in is what you get out. And having an opportunity like this, with it being online and you're putting in the work effort, and like Rob said, he only does like 1 or 2 hours a week. Like, that's not a lot of work. But what happens with an entrepreneur type opportunity versus, you know, a 40-hour work week job is you're not working 1 to 2 hours a week to get paid for those 1 to 2 hours for the week at the end of the week. So it's a different mindset that you have to kind of shift yourself into, and Rob has done an awesome job from what I've seen, just balancing the entrepreneur side of it, you know, wanting to be passionate about the entrepreneur side, but also putting in his 40 hours a week at his regular job where he still works hard at that, but it's just a different mindset. So managing both of those in this opportunity is something that I think he's done a great job focusing on. So Eric, are you back?
I am. I thought I was talking to myself or no one, or I don't know, whatever. Glad you took over, Mal.
Anytime.
What did you share? I didn't hear any of it.
Yeah, no, I was just talking about just the mindset that you have when you're putting in 1 to 2 hours a week versus, you know, a regular 40-hour work week job where you're working those 1 to 2 hours and putting in that effort, but you're not necessarily going to get paid at the end of the week for that effort. You're going to see that come in, you know, tenfold in the future, which is why Rob has done so well, because he's put on all this work over the last year and he's finally seeing it kind of catch up, and the results are coming in that are associated with work that he might have done 6 months ago. So it's just a whole concept of the entrepreneur mindset versus like a business, an employee mindset.
Absolutely. I remember Dave Wood, the owner of the company that all of us represent. He actually tells a story about before he started Empower, he was with a different company and he was blogging on a different platform, but he was blogging and he wrote this really good blog post. And then, of course, he kind of forgot about it because then he started the company that we're all a part of. And a couple years later, somebody was looking for that company that he used to be a part of. They read his review about the company, and then he clicked through his link. And because they loved his post so much, they actually ended up just joining Empower anyway. So it's one of those things where it's online real estate, as my sponsors Brian and Rhonda Swan talk about. They say once it's out there, and it never goes away. And as long as your content is good, no matter what you're doing or what you're promoting or whatever, you know, people are following you, and there's a chance to join. Did you have something, Rob?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, if you think about, you know, the digital era, Eric, that we're in right now, like, we're in a digital era revolution. Just like there was an industrial revolution. Just like there are many other different types of revolutions that took place in history, and we're like on the verge of, or you know, on the tidal wave verge of a digital revolution. Everything is becoming more digital, and you know, if you want to get into any type of business in your future, and you don't understand digital marketing, you will not be in business. I mean, I believe that wholeheartedly. You know, coming from a company where I worked in digital marketing. You know, if you don't understand, you know, how Google works, how Facebook works, how to create ads online, you know, there's very few businesses that survive right now, right? It's very, very few that are able to get by without knowing how to do those things. And it's just the educational side alone, I think, is absolutely instrumental. You know, especially if you're an entrepreneur and you want to build a brand for yourself. I mean, the stuff I'm learning, there's no way I could have learned any other way. And I'm really glad I'm kind of taking this journey. And like also what Eric was saying is that when you consistently blog every day, imagine if you had to go, you had a business and you had to put out flyers. Well, every day you go put out flyers, every day you go put out flyers, but the previous day's flyers from the day before are actually gone, right? So every day you have to continue to put out flyers. But if I write one blog post, it stays on the internet forever, right? And then the next day I write another blog post, that stays on the internet forever, okay? And so like my work is compounding and perpetuating upon itself. And due to that, like I've been doing this for a year and I am getting some decent traction, but I'm starting to see results because of the work that I put in, a long time ago. And like that's just the power of the internet. And if you're not going to get involved in the internet, what are you going to do?
Absolutely, that's a good point. We talk a lot about people joining the system to make money, which I believe people should. But there's another element about it. There's a lot of people that I've had conversations with just because of the different things that I do. People that are following, my personal development. They've read my book and they connect with me, and then they're doing their own thing, right? They have a business, they have something else they're doing, but they haven't learned any of the stuff that's in the products of the company that we represent. And they have a great message. Like there's a few people I can remember specifically that I had calls with, more of like a collaboration call to say like I'm a life coach and I do this stuff, and they're like I do this stuff, and I look at what they do and they know the concepts. They created a framework for their information. They they have handouts and pamphlets and all this stuff. But then I look and they don't really understand Facebook. They don't understand any of the social media. And although they have a potential amazing business, they're not able to reach the people with the message that they have. Yes, Rob.
Yeah, Tony Robbins says this all the time. Your business is two things: it's innovation and it's marketing. You could have the best product out there. There are actually products that no longer exist that were better products, but they didn't have the marketing plan, right? They didn't have the marketing skills to get out there. I can't think of one off the top of my head, but it was the product that competed. I don't remember the name. It was the product that competed with the iPod. What was it called? It was like actually way better than the original iPod. Okay, if you actually saw that thing, but they had no marketing plan. Apple had a better marketing plan, and the iPod grew into the iPad and everything that it is now. But their marketing is the biggest differentiating factor in a business. And so how are you going to learn the skills to go market? And that's what I'm doing now. I'm learning these skills, and it's absolutely fantastic.
Cool. Yeah, absolutely. And that, that's a great point. One of the things is a lot of times people say, once I do this, then I'll learn this stuff or I'll do this. The problem is that you're never going to get from A to B without actually doing something, without making an investment both in your business and in of yourself. I remember when I was back with the sales and marketing company I was a part of, and Mallory and Rob were working at the same company as well. I remember our region manager, Earl Kelly, said one time when he was talking about the slower season of the company, he said, you could easily have no receptionist or one receptionist that you pay, a few hours and whatever, and you can keep your costs down, right? But you'll never make any money if you're not investing in your business. It's not a race to zero or whatever to try to not lose money. We're here to make money and impact people, and if you play small, you're never going to get a big result. You're not going to get from A to B without doing those things. So, I can appreciate when people are going through some challenges, but you have to make that decision to invest in yourself and your business, and why not do it now rather than in the future? Because when Rob was talking about the compound effect with your blog post, that happens in business too. If you're going to be a successful business, there's usually not what's called an overnight success, but there is usually a point where if a company's going to take off, it takes off. Like I was telling you the story about Justin and Dee, right? They've been in the business for a while, but all of a sudden they go from 3K to 26K in 1 month. But that didn't happen that month. They had been building and learning the foundation, and then maybe a conversation with Dave or whatever made it take off. But they were willing to invest in their business. They were willing to invest in the products, to go to the events, to take a chance and go to Dave's house, to take the skill sets that he taught them and actually do something with it. And that's something I talked about in a previous video. I said, when people, the only thing, Dario knows me pretty well now too, but Rob and Mallory have known me for a while. And there's someone, I'm very much of a supporter type of coach, but at the same time, if the one thing that I get super frustrated with, and you can ask my wife Meg about, is when someone shares their vision with me about what they want to accomplish in their life and what they want their life to look like, and then let's say they join our system or they're talking to me about our system, but then they decide not to join or they drop off or something like that. But they do so without having something else that they're going to do. If this opportunity is not for you, no big deal. You can do something else. That's, maybe it's not the right thing for you. The problem is when you leave an opportunity like this and you don't go do something else, when are you going to do it? And obviously the response is, well, once I have a bunch of money, then I'll do it. Well, the problem with that is that if you make a bunch of money doing something else, what do you need this for? Not much money that you're paying your bills, and you're able to save, to be able to do this. What do you actually need it for? So that's the point where I get so passionate about other people's visions that I want them to either join us and stick with it and go for it, invest in themselves and in our company, or if there's something else they want to do, go do that, but go pursue it. Don't wait for something. And we were talking about compounding. If you wait down the line to actually make it happen, then it's going to take you so much longer to actually get there. I know some of you guys aren't huge number people, but if you've ever seen like the whole compounding, like saving for retirement, if you saved a certain amount from age 25 to 35, like whatever it is, 5K a year for those 10 years or something, right? And then you saved 5K a year starting at age 35 to 65 for the next 30 years. So they're two different people, right? Someone saves from age 25 to 35, the other one saves from 35 to 65. You'd say, well, which one's going to have more money at 65 if they get the same return on their investment? We say obviously the 35 to 65 because they invested for 30, they put in money for 30 years instead of the first person to put in money for only 10. No, the answer is A, the 25 to 35, because they invested further back and had more time for that money to compound, that it didn't even matter that they weren't investing in those other 30 years because their snowball was rolling so fast and the money was building on itself that it actually passed the person who invested for the next 30 years. So where does the metaphor come in? It's if you start today, the analogy, you're 25 and you put in those 10 years now, the ball just can start rolling and you have no idea where you can be in those 10 years rather than waiting for the perfect situation. Because I have to break it to you, there's no perfect situation in life. It doesn't exist. And when you think down the line, even if you come up with the money or whatever, there's going to be some other challenge in life thrown your way. That's how life works. So it's all about making a decision, and that's what makes all the difference. Did you have something, Rob?
10 years to become an overnight success.
Right.
On average, right? Like the most successful people took them on average 10 years to become the overnight success. And so if you stick with something long enough, it's going to work. And, a lot of our experiences have also led up to what we're doing now that's helping us, but, just find something that you believe in and stick with it.
Right, absolutely. And that's what I love about our system and our team. We all love personal development. We have our academy, we have our group, but we also are a part of a system that has a specific group of products about personal development and online marketing and business, but we're also able to develop our own brand around it, that stuff we're passionate about. And if you're passionate about it, you're going to be willing to do the work that is ultimately going to get you the result. And like I said, we enjoy these Hangouts every week. We enjoy our masterminds that we've had. I've had, every single person, the 3 people on our panel and also some of our other leaders that are watching tonight, almost all of them I've either been at an event, whether it's just our company event or one of our masterminds, and it's such a fun group to be a part of that you got to not only find something you're passionate about and go for it, like Rob said, but also find a group that can share in that same level of passion that you have and really join them and be a part of it. So, if you're looking for that group and one of us or all of us connect with you, there's actually a link below this, and it's actually tagged to whoever sent you here. So if you click through and decide to join our team, there's actually a 2-week trial for $7. You get to see the whole system. And actually try it out, go through all the welcome videos and the fast start videos, and actually get a call with the leader that sent you there, and we'll connect you into the team, and you'll be able to work with us and participate in all the stuff we're talking about. So if you've been looking for that opportunity, definitely click the link below and join us, because we're excited, we're having fun, we're going places. And how fun is it to be in a situation where you get to do what you want, you get to work when you want, you do got to put in the work, but it's stuff you're passionate about, the more results you get, the more time and financial freedom you get. And when you actually, quote unquote, go to work and actually go to events, you're seeing people that you consider your friends and family. They're in cool places around the country and around the world, and you get to just, have a bunch of fun and make money along the way. So that's my part about what we're doing. Click the link below and check it out. If anyone else has anything real quick to share, general excitement and why people should consider joining our team, you're welcome to have the last word.
I'll just say that next week's call we're really excited about. I'm going to be talking about how to drive leads, so help you get traffic from highly targeted leads and convert those leads into sales online using different strategies and methods for our online system. And we're really excited about it. I'm going to deliver the goods and make sure there's some serious value and insights that are given that are going to really help you start seeing some serious results from your business.
Cool. I'm looking forward to it. That's going to be awesome. Did you have something, Mel?
Yeah, I was just going to say we want you to come with us on our journey, so click the button.
Just do it. Dario?
I'll say one more thing. Right now is the time. Right now is the time. A lot of people about like 5-6 years ago that got started during that time. Right now they're enjoying the freedom that we all want to pursue. So right now is the time to do it. Absolutely. The internet has given born to a lot of millionaires in the last decades. So right now is the time for you to take advantage, and working with the right system and working with the right team is what you're looking at. So.
Cool. Awesome. I appreciate it. So I'll finish with this. Why not be in a situation where you actually are a part of our team, you've gone through the welcome video, you've gone through your fast start, you've filled out the checklist, you've got your call with your mentor, and you're here with us next Wednesday as a team member to actually take notes and learn the cool stuff that Rob has to share and be able to implement it right away because you're already started and get yourself off to a huge start that very first week in the business. So one last time, you can check out the link and join our team for 2 weeks trial for $7. And we'll see you next week on our Hangout. Rob's got some awesome stuff to share, so I can't wait. But thank you guys on our panel here for being here, and I look forward to seeing you guys next week. Live the movie. Have a great week, guys, and we'll see you next Wednesday.
Bye, guys.